We are now at the Trostle Farm, the site of Dan Sickles' headquarters on July 2, 1863. And I promised I would tell you what kind of battlefield commander Dan Sickles was. Well, to give you an idea of the kind of metal this guy was made of, let me tell you about what happened to Dan Sickles here on the second day of the battle. As the Confederates overran the peach orchard, Sickles was sitting atop his horse, very near to where you are currently parked. He was directing his troops when a Confederate artillery round, a solid shot, struck him in the right leg, nearly tearing it off. There is a diamond-shaped marker to the left of the barn that marks the exact location of this event. A tourniquet was applied to his leg in an attempt to control the loss of blood. Still conscious, Sickles calmly smoked a cigar and gave orders to his troops until he was finally carried away on a stretcher. Later, a Union surgeon amputated his leg. Sickles had the limb sent to Washington, where it was subsequently displayed at the National Museum of Health and Medicine. Sickles himself often visited his leg for many years after the battle. So you can say what you want about the man, but let me tell you, Dan Sickles never flinched. I mean, the man calmly smoked a cigar after getting his leg torn off. The men he commanded loved him because he was brave. And the one thing that mattered most to a soldier in the American Civil War was that his commander was with him, out there on the field. And Sickles was that kind of soldier. He had an absolute iron nerve. An iron nerve was exactly what you needed if you were standing anywhere close to where you were currently parked late in the afternoon of July 2, 1863. Because after 6 p.m., the only Union force in this area was a lone Union artillery battery attempting to stem the tide of the Confederates. With 6 bronze Napoleon cannons, the artillerymen of John Bigelow's 9th Massachusetts Light Artillery Battery fought desperately to hold their ground. The Confederate attack had just sliced through the peach orchard. Captain Bigelow, a Harvard graduate, and his few remaining artillerymen were completing a harrowing retreat towards the Trostle Farm. They retired literally by the firing of their cannons, relinquishing the ground as the guns recoiled backwards. Eventually, they reached the area directly to your front right when the order was given to stand their ground. They were the last line of defense. All of the reserves had been sent to support Sickles, and those who had not been killed, wounded, or captured were retreating to other parts of the battlefield. Bigelow and his men staged what would be remembered as one of the greatest artillery accomplishments of the battle and possibly the American Civil War. Bringing the ammunition to the front of the gun so they could be fired rapidly, they discharged the pieces as the Mississippians of Barksdale's brigade appeared over the ridgeline to your right. Both sides unleashed a hailstorm of lead and iron. Bigelow lost 4 of his guns and was twice shot defending the area. But the efforts of these few brave artillerymen had worked. From a second line of artillery, set up just east of here, the Union Army held the Confederates at bay for the remainder of the day.